name is Dory Martin, and I am with Child Care Aware of Missouri. I focus on our resource website, Show Me Child Care Resources, which is why you guys are here today. Kind of get into the site and see how you can utilize it in your program in your classroom. So I'm going to share my screen with you all and kind of go through the main homepage of the site and then the individual tabs. I'm not going to go into each individual resource as a whole because that would take hours. But just to kind of give you that introduction so that you're able to get in and access what you're looking to access and know kind of the general place to go to find what you're looking for. So I will share my screen now. Are you able to see this homepage of Show Me Child Care Resources?
Yes.
All right, great. So when you log in, and if you have you should have access. So your email address is your username, and then your password. If you're not sure what your password is, when you go to the login page, you can click Reset Password, and you'd receive the directions to reset in an email momentarily once you click Reset Password and enter in your email address. So then once you log in, you would go to this home page here, and you can see these 4 tabs across the top, and we'll get into those in a minute, but I'm going to go through the home page first. So this main picture here, it changes monthly to bi-weekly, just kind of depends on what is being added. Right now, because programs are reopening, or if they've remained open, they may be changing some different procedures and policies for their families or employees. So right now the focus here is on policies and procedures and how you can update those within the site and utilize the different resources and materials that are in the site. So you can see here the different topics that you're able to click on. When you click on these, it will take you to a different place in the site, and you can access that place through these different tabs as well, depending on what you're looking for. But this is just the quick link to get you where you want to go in relation to these topics. Also, before I go any further, just to give you a little bit of background, Show Me Child Care Resources has been a part of Child Care Aware of Missouri since about 2015. I came into the organization in 2018 and kind of was tasked with focusing my efforts in Show Me Child Care Resources. I would often get pulled out to work on some other things, but now my focus is primarily here. Show Me Child Care Resources is a shared services resource site. It was developed through CCA for Social Good, which is an organization in New Hampshire. And they work with 30 states, including Missouri, to develop these early childhood education resources for programs and for teachers. So because we are part of that group, we have more buying power that offers the different resources and opportunities that you'll see in the site. So just to give you that background there. So going down in the home page, you'll go, once you scroll down a little further, you'll see these other quick links to resources in the site. Again, you can access them from the other tabs, but it's just the quick and easy way to access these specific topics. Down here in trending topics, those are specific materials that have been accessed at a higher rate. So things that are more recently accessed by programs and by users would be listed here. Show Me Jobs is actually a job board that you're able to post job listings on for your program. So when you go into Show Me Jobs, I'm going to click on it here. You would go, if you haven't registered, then you could register, and it would be free since you have access to Show Me Child Care Resources. But once you click Manage Account, once you've registered and click Manage Account, you'd be taken to a place called Acquire for Hire, where you can post a job opening for your program. And it has pre-made job descriptions, job titles, and it's beyond just early childhood education or childcare. It could be for anything you're looking for. And then once you are finished creating that job posting, you can publish it, and when it's published, it goes into Show Me Jobs, which is presented in Show Me Childcare Resources, but it actually gets distributed out to 9 other more popular job boards. So Indeed, Google, Oodle, CareerJet, LinkedIn, and altogether it is 9. If you would like the specific list, I can send it to you. But it goes out to those job boards as well, just to get more traction for that job listing. We'll go back here. So below there, the limited time savings, we will go to the My Savings tab here in a little bit, but the limited time savings are just those savings or discounts that are available that have expiration dates. So you would want to utilize them if you were interested, utilize them quickly so that you're able to take advantage of those savings and discounts. In the video corner, there are different videos, just quick videos to show you out of the shared services site. And also you'll see like Food and Supply Source is one of the vendors that offers a discount through the site. So it's a specific video on what the benefit of using Food and Supply Source would be for your program. Down here towards the bottom, we always look for testimonials and feedback from users. So if you were wanting to post anything, you can go in here and share your experience, your success with the site. And then down here, again, more popular quick links to different resources that are in Show Me Childcare Resources. So you can kind of see here what some of those specific popular items have been. These reference sheets, I do want to touch on those. For a center-based program, if you click on the reference sheet, it kind of goes through the individual tabs that are in the site and where you can locate certain things. So it just gives you a bit of a map as you're going through the site so that you can see where to find different materials and information. And then the same setup for family child care programs, just another map for the site that can be utilized. So before we get into the tabs, do you guys have any questions?
No.
All right, we'll go ahead and go back to the top. In the Engaging Families tab, you'll find information that can either be shared with families, can be utilized when you're wanting to maybe boost family involvement, host some kind of family event, or just support families as they're trying to best support their children through early childhood. So within admin tools, you'll find a lot of those ways to interact with families, support things for your community bulletin board, ideas for family nights or family days, along with like family handbooks and policies and things like that. In child development, you'll find things to support families as they're maybe going through developmental challenges or just to look out for certain developmental milestones, as well as different things that they can do to support their children as they're learning and growing. Within the education tab, you'll find apps that can be shared with families so that they can kind of see where their child is at as far as their development and education goes. So kind of like those pregnancy apps to see where your baby is at along your pregnancy. It's a similar setup of apps that show what your child should be doing or could be doing during a certain range, if that would be something parents would be interested in. And also in that tab, there is information and resources for reading and literacy. So how to kind of encourage families to read at home and what those benefits are for their children. I don't want to take up all your time. So just for sake of time, I'm not going to go into each one of these individually. I just want to give you that brief overview so you know what's available and where you could find it. In environment, There are things to kind of encourage a healthy home environment. So information on how to store chemicals in cleaning products. If you have a mold problem, like what steps you would need to take to help alleviate that problem. And also information on like water conservation, whether it be in your kitchen or in your bathroom, and what that looks like at home, but can also be utilized in a program itself, just to help be more eco-friendly. In general health, it has information on basic childhood illnesses, so colds and flu, proper hand washing techniques, along with posters to have in your program of how to wash your hands and when to wash your hands. It also has information on immunizations and the importance of getting your child vaccinated and why. Nutrition and fitness goes into healthy eating and developing healthy lifelong habits as far as eating and activity. So different physical activities that families can do together, things to look out for as far as eating habits go, and also the limiting of screen time and what's appropriate based on your child's age. In safety, it kind of goes through those generic like bike safety, car safety, school bus safety, but then it also goes into like pool and water safety, poison control and poison safety. In that section, it offers information and contact for the Child Abuse and Neglect Center for Childhood Abuse and Neglect, excuse me. And then it also has like emergency information. So for families or even in your child care program to develop emergency kits for specific emergency situations, or an emergency plan for families to develop. If there's a fire, where do we go? What's our meeting place? If there's a tornado, this is what we do, and so on and so forth. In the social and emotional section, it talks about how to support children who might be going through different emotional transitions, I guess. So within there, you'll find things to support children who are experiencing traumatic stress, separation anxiety, how to encourage empathy in children and resiliency, the things. Any questions about engaging families before we move on to in the classroom? All right. So in the classroom, this is probably a section where my biggest effort is, or wish is right now, to develop some more resources for teachers in this section. So within assessment, you'll find information on child assessment, teacher assessment, program assessment, as well as classroom assessment. You'll also find information on like different methods to assess. There aren't a lot of like specific assessment models available in that section, but just more of what methods can be utilized to assess children or your classroom. In the curriculum section, you'll find different specific curriculum topics. So there's like fire safety, can't remember at this moment, I'll go ahead and click on it. So you can kind of see over here the different topics, and then once you click on those, it will take you further in and give you more information on each of those topics. Within these themed-based lesson plans, you'll find already completed lesson plans and activities that you can utilize in the classroom with the materials you would need, questions to ask to guide understanding. So it's really cool, and it goes into like specific themes, like all about me or community helpers, and all of that, which is really awesome. Before I joined Child Care Work Missouri, I was actually a pre-kindergarten teacher for 4 years. So then when I came here and saw this site, I thought, oh man, I wish I could have had this at my fingertips when I was in the classroom, because it would have been a really great resource to just grab. I was looking for something either for a family or in the classroom. We'll go back to the in the classroom tab. These ERS materials for environmental rating scales, these are actually more along the lines of shopping lists if you were needing to be within ERS, what that would look like if you were ordering from Kaplan or Lakeshore or Discount School Supply. And within this site, you have access to discounts through those vendors. And so it kind of shows you what you might be purchasing for a classroom if you were going within the environment rating scale. Excuse me. Within executive function, it provides information on different components of executive function. So like critical thinking, communication, and then it also provides books that can be read to support those components of executive function. Within literacy, so there's tools to support literacy and also like book lists and things like that to support reading and literacy in the classroom. The physical activities section provides like examples and ideas for physical activities both in and out of the classroom. The physical activities would have been a great tab for a teacher looking for something different to do during a rainy day or a cold day or a too hot day when you're stuck in the classroom, and you still want to get that gross motor in. So just some more organized physical activities for children to participate in. The teacher resources section, so there are kind of basic like alphabet cards, classroom labels, there are the lesson plan templates, daily report, like schedule type things that can be printed out and shared with families. Then over in the themed resources section, this actually goes by season. I believe it has not been updated yet, it's still in spring. But each season is supposed to be different. So there's a specific newsletter for each season, and then different things that might be related to that season. So in spring, it was bike safety, physical activity, germ fighting, and then there are also seasonal book lists and ideas for your community bulletin board. Back to in the classroom. So that kind of in a nutshell is the in the classroom tab. Do you guys have any questions about that? All right, we will move over to saving money, which is something that programs really like in our site because they're able to buy from vendors that they typically buy from anyway, but have a discount, which is awesome. So instead of going to getting started, I encourage you to go to all savings programs. When you get to all savings programs, you would go to my savings portal. And then you're taken to a new tab here. And it shows you the different vendors that offer discounts through Show Me Child Care Resources. Now you'll see Lakeshore and Discount School Supply. Kaplan should be on here. Yep, there it is. But then there are also other ones that might interest you depending on what you're looking for. So you can buy from Office Depot and Staples. I know Staples offers great savings on like diapers and wipes and gloves. And one of our programs actually would buy their diapers from Staples at a discounted rate and sell them to families at a lesser rate than maybe their families would buy them at Walmart or at Target. But the program was still able to make a profit and better serve their community, which was great. So again, you would go to that all savings programs under saving money, and then click my savings portal to access that. Now I will say once you get into this section, there's a chance, depending on which vendor you're interested in, that you would contact a woman named Andrea Biamonte, who is our savings coordinator with CCA for Social Good, and she would connect you with that vendor depending on how that vendor prefers to be contacted. So for some of these, I want to say Lakeshore. So for some of these, they will supply a specific link that already has the savings applied, or a promo code that you can enter at checkout that is based around your access to Show Me Child Care Resources. So to get to this point where I was at the place to click the link, I clicked this blue arrow in all over Lakeshore here. Now, so that brought me here. If you're wanting more information, you can put in your name and your company and your phone number and all of that information. And if you click learn more, then your contact info will be sent to Andrea Biamonte if you were looking for just further information before reaching out to a vendor. But again, it's not every vendor that requires the intermediary of Andrea, and it's not every vendor that offers a link or a promo code. It's just kind of case by case basis if they prefer a link, promo code, or contact through Andrea. And if you guys have any questions about that, please holler out. So that is the main thing in the in the saving money tab. There's like the calculate your savings, where you can go in and put your program specific information and see, and then you would be contacted to see where you could save and what vendors might be good options for you. And then again, like this, the homepage, there's the limited time savings. The local vendors right now, we only have one is Becker's School Supply, but if that's something you're interested in, then definitely check out the local vendors, and they provide you with the website information. And last I knew, yes, there's the promo code for Child Care Aware of Missouri and specifically Show Me Child Care Resources members. So in saving money, that's more of the program specific vendors, but there are also discounts that are available to all users. Obviously, if you have an account, you can access the vendors no matter what you're ordering for. But there's also something called My VIP Savings, and I'm clicking over into the Successful Program Management tab now, because that's where you can find that. In becoming an HR expert, this first choice under Successful Program Management, you would go to that and then click Compensation and Benefits. And then there's Employee Perks, My VIP. And that is actually a site where you can order at a discounted rate from a ton of different retailers. So I will go into my account that I have here, as long as I can remember my password. Give me one moment. Ugh. My memory doesn't want to work today, and usually I just have it remember me. Okay, well, it's not going to let me in. I apologize. But it's like Walmart, Home Depot, a ton of restaurants, places like Target, places that people are going regularly anyway. So if you're going to purchase from there, it would be great to get that cash back. So it's not necessarily a discount, but you do get cash back on your purchases. So just to be aware of that, to make your employees aware of that, because for Show Me Child Care Resources, all administrators, owners, directors, they can have access, but so can all staff members. So they can have access to all of the resources and savings in Show Me Child Care Resources. Okay, so back to the main Successful Program Management page. And this one is a little bit more vast than the others. There are a lot of specific topics in here. So I won't go through each one as I did the others, but you can kind of see the different topics that are available. Now the training and professional development, those in general are not clock hour trainings. Those are like quick videos, quick articles, things like that that can be accessed, but they are not for clock hour. Now you can access the Missouri Workshop Calendar through training and professional development to get access to those clock hour trainings. However, you would still have to submit payment and all of that that goes into the Missouri Workshop Calendar side of things. So you can kind of see as I'm scrolling here the different topics that are available. The forms, policies, and templates on that homepage that I had showed you, that's kind of one of the highlighted featured things right now. So you're able to access those if you're needing to update your pickup and drop off policy or procedure, I guess, or if you're updating your tuition and fees policy, given the COVID-19 situation, anything like that. There are pre-made policies, and you can click on them. And once you've clicked on them, it comes up as a Word document, and you can change it however you need to for your program, and make it fit what you're looking to do. So you can see over here all of the different things that go into just this specific section. So there are a lot of resources in the Successful Program Management tab, but it's more in this area for financial and business supports for admins and directors, that kind of thing. Is there anything specific in this tab that you guys see that jumps out that you would like to take a look at?
Posters.
Posters, sure. So this has like no cell phones at pickup drop off, peanut free zone, hand washing, that kind of thing. So I'll click on, let's see. This one. So this kind of gives you an idea of how they pop up. And you're able to print that. So things that you can put on your community bulletin board, as well as in the bathrooms in your classrooms. There's that nut-free zone I mentioned. And then I also mentioned that no cell phone policy. Department of Labor workplace posters, so things you could put if you had an employee break room or something like that. And I know I had mentioned like the policies and things that can be brought out into Word documents, but there are actually like fully completed handbooks, both employee and family. And the family handbook can be found in the Engaging Family section under admin tools, but the employee handbook is here, and you can access the completed employee handbook. And again, you would just have to insert your program-specific information. Oh, popped up on it. There we go. So you can kind of see the way it goes through. And gives you an idea of what you would need to complete as the program. Any questions on that? So that kind of wraps up my quick walkthrough. But if you all had any questions about anything, go ahead, you can holler them out now, or you can always call me or email me. And I will actually be sending out a survey right after this to anyone who's on right now, just looking for some feedback on the webinar, on the site in general, and what you would like to see in the site or in future webinars as well. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up? Oh, let me check the chat box real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything from anybody. All right. So, if you guys do have any questions, I'll go ahead while we're on here and share my contact information. So if you would like to email me, my email address is Dori, D-O-R-I, at mo.childcareaware.org. And I'll say that again, Dori, D-O-R-I, at mo, that's M-O, .childcareaware.org. And if you would like to give me a call, my phone number is 314-754-1611. I'll go ahead and post that in the chat real quick as well. But if no one has any questions, we can go ahead and sign off. I really appreciate all of you getting on today and giving me a little bit of your time. Have a great afternoon.